Hey, hello, what's up everyone? In this video I'm going to teach you about Ketu in the 5th house of T9 Navamsa chart. So before beginning, if you are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon and click the like button. And if you have any doubt after watching this video, please do mention it in my below comment section, okay? So let's begin. So what do you mean by Navamsa chart or the D9 chart? See, Navamsa chart or the D9 chart is the second most important chart after your birth chart. It is mainly seen for your strengths of your planet. It is also seen for your married life. It is also seen for your relationship between you and your spouse and also your marital life. See, Navamsa chart or the D9 chart mainly gets activated after your second half of your life, that is after 33 years or 36 years of your age. Now coming to the strengths of your planet. Now let's say for example if any planet is debilitated in your birth chart. Now let's say for example if Sun is debilitated in your birth chart and that planet Sun is been exalted in your Navamsa chart or the D9 chart, that shows that that planet Sun has gained extra strength or extra power. Now coming to the married life. See, every individual divisional chart including the main birth chart has its own Karaka planet or the significant planet, right? Now let's say for example in your birth chart or the D1 chart, Sun is the Karaka planet or the significant planet, right? Likewise in your Navamsa chart or the D9 chart, Venus is the Karaka planet or the significant planet. So Venus should be placed in an exalted sign, Mool Trikon sign, own sign or in a friendly sign. That shows that your married life will be very good. Now coming to the 5th house of the D9 chart or the Navamsa chart. Now what does 5th house of the D9 chart or the Navamsa chart represents? See, 5th house of the D9 chart or the Navamsa chart represents after your married life, how intelligently you raise up your children. See, actually 5th house also represents, it's a house of romance, it's a house of your past life deeds, it's a house of your children. Now it is also seen for your gambling, stock market and all. It is also the house of your intellect. So these are all the things can be seen through the 5th house of D9 Navamsa chart. Now what happens when Ketu is sitting in the 5th house of D9 Navamsa chart? Now what does planet Ketu represents? See, planet Ketu represents, it is actually the Moksha Karaka planet and it also represents separation or divorce. It can also represent depression and it also represents separation from particular areas of life, and it also represents the isolated things and all, isolated place. It also represents not interested towards the materialistic things and interested towards the spiritual things and all. So these are all the things can be seen through the planet Ketu. Now what happens when planet Ketu is sitting in the 5th house of D9 Navamsa chart? It shows that after your married life you feel rejected. Even though if you are physically present there, it seems that you are being rejected. And it also shows that you get very much depressed after your married life because your spouse may be rejecting you, or even though if you are physically present there, your spouse may not be loving you. And it also shows that it seems that you are being rejected. And it also shows that you get very much depressed after your married life because your spouse may be rejecting you, or even though if you are physically present there, your spouse may not be loving you. It also shows that you are not a materialistic person and you don't enjoy the materialistic things also, but it also shows that you are interested towards the spiritual things like yoga, meditation and all. And it also shows that after your married life, you raise your kid or you raise your children in a spiritual way, so that after they grow up, they also become a spiritual persons. Now see, whenever Rahu and Ketu sits anywhere in your horoscope or anywhere in your Navamsa chart or D9 chart or anywhere in your birth chart, check its dispositor, how it is placed and where it is placed. That will show you how Ketu will be giving results and Rahu will be giving results to you. Now let's say for example if Ketu is sitting in the 5th house, especially in the sign of Aries zodiac sign, now that shows that you need to check the condition of planet Mars because the ruler of Aries zodiac sign is planet Mars, right? So Mars should be placed in a very good house and in a very good sign. That shows that surely you will get a very good results of the Ketu. Now what happens when planet Ketu is conjuncted planet Moon? Now what does planet Moon represents? Moon represents your mind, your happiness, your emotions and all. Now when Moon and Ketu are conjuncted in the 5th house of D9 Navamsa chart, it shows that after your married life, you will get happiness only when you are interested towards the spiritual things, and only when your mind thinks about the spiritual things, you will get very good happiness. And it also shows that you will get very good happiness only when you do yoga and meditation. And it also shows that your mother's health will be affected, because Moon also represents mother, right? So that's why your mother's health will be affected. And it also shows that you are not that much emotionally connected towards your children after your married life when they are born. Now what happens when Ketu is conjuncted with planet Jupiter? That shows that after your married life, you may become a very good teacher, or you may become a very good philosopher also. And it also shows that you may learn various subjects, like for example you may learn about occult science like astrology things and all, palmistry and all. So these are all the things can be seen through when Ketu and Jupiter are conjuncted in the 5th house of D9 Navamsa chart. And it also shows that you may not be interested towards rising upon your children also, because Jupiter planet represents responsibility and all. So when it is sitting in the 5th house of D9 Navamsa chart, it shows that you need to take responsibility while rising upon your children. But in this case, when Jupiter and Ketu are conjuncted towards each other in the 5th house of D9 Navamsa chart, it shows that you may not be interested towards taking responsibility or taking care of them. Now what happens when Ketu is conjuncted planet Venus? That shows that you may not be interested towards the love, and you may not be interested towards the romance and all, but you may be loving the spiritual things like yoga, meditation and all. So these are all the things can be seen through when Ketu and Venus are conjuncted in the 5th house of D9 Navamsa chart. Now what happens when Ketu is conjuncted with planet Mercury? That shows that after your married life, you may not be interested in taking decisions and all, and even though if you take decisions, you may end up in taking wrong decisions and all. So these are all the things can be seen when Ketu and Mercury are conjuncted in the 5th house of D9 Navamsa chart. And it also shows that when Ketu and Mercury are conjuncted, you may have some misunderstandings between you and your spouse, or miscommunication between you and your spouse or you and your children. So these are all the things can be seen through when Ketu and Mercury are conjuncted in the 5th house of D9 Navamsa chart. Now what happens when Ketu is conjuncted with malefic planets like Sun, Mars and Saturn? It shows that after your married life, you will have a very bad luck when your children is born. But if Ketu's dispositor is placed very well, that shows that surely you will have some very good luck and also very bad luck. But normally when Ketu is placed in the 5th house with any malefic planets, it gives very bad results. Now what happens when Ketu is conjuncted planet Sun? That shows that after your married life, if you are working in government sectors, you may receive very bad name, and you may be kicked out from your job also during Ketu's dasa or Sun's dasa. So these are all the things can be seen through when Ketu and Sun are conjuncted in the 5th house of D9 Navamsa chart. Now what happens when Ketu is conjuncted with planet Mars? That shows that after your married life, it shows that you may not be interested showing the aggressiveness towards your spouse or towards your children. Even though if you show towards them, they won't care about you. So these are all the things can be seen through when Ketu and Mars are conjuncted in the 5th house of D9 Navamsa chart. Now what happens when Ketu is conjuncted with planet Saturn? When Ketu is conjuncted with planet Saturn, that shows that after your married life, you may not be interested towards your children, and it also shows that you may not be having that romantic attitude towards your spouse. And it also shows that you doesn't follow certain rules and regulations that has been followed by your family through ages and all. So it also shows that after your married life, you may be interested to going towards sannyasi and all. So these are all the things can be seen through when Ketu and Saturn are conjuncted in the 5th house of D9 Navamsa chart. Now one thing you need to note here is when Ketu is sitting in the 5th house, Rahu will be sitting in the 11th house, right? Now that shows that after your married life, you will be getting huge number of gains and all, only if Rahu dispositor should be placed very well in your Navamsa chart or the D9 chart. So this is it for today, guys. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe below, or else I will see you in the next video. That is the Dashamsa chart series video. So if you want any consultancy, please do contact my given below WhatsApp number, or else you can even mail me also. So until and unless, thank you, bye bye, love you, take care.